Contamination in PCRs can be because of multiple reasons. The most common reason is the exogenous DNA sequence, means the amplification of that DNA which is not the DNA of interest, which is not our own DNA which we are working with. This is because of some sloppy work of the investigator or the co-worker, and the best example of presence of exogenous DNA is when you see some amplification in negative controls. When we do PCR, besides our control samples or the experimental samples, we use a positive control and a negative control. Negative control is that sample in which we don't give any kind of DNA. But even then, if we see some kind of amplification there, that indicates the contamination of exogenous DNA. There is no need to find out the solution or reason behind it. The best idea is to discard all the consumables and prepare new solutions and reagents which are clear and pure from contaminations. Besides, try to decontaminate the instruments which you are going to use for PCR reactions. The second source of contamination is the laboratory space. Mostly, number of people are working there, working in different attitudes. There should be possibility of contamination. It is always advised to assemble the PCR in a separate laboratory space which has its own set of equipment like gloves, like the micropipettes, the microfuge tubes, the microfuge. These should be specifically separated for setting up a PCR. Then designating a specific area for PCR in the laboratory is a best idea to get rid of the contaminations. It is further added that use of laminar flow to set up or to prepare for PCR is good to avoid contaminations. Before using the laminar flow, you can switch on the lights, the UV lights or UV tubes, so that to decontaminate the hood and area. All your supplies should be present in that hood so that they should be decontaminated in the presence of UV. The barrels of the pipette tips, they are the major source of contamination, so only use the micropipettes for PCR, always for PCR. Don't use any micropipette which is supposed to be used somewhere else in the lab working with the DNA samples. This can create problem with the PCR reaction. Always use disposable materials like pipette tips or tubes directly from the supplier's packaging. Don't try to autoclave them, because autoclave may cause or may be the source of contaminations. The thermal cyclers, the machines in which PCR has to be run, they should be placed separately in a separate area of the lab. While working with the lab, you should follow some rules to set up the PCR. There should be restricted entry in and out of the lab while working or while designing the PCR. Always use gloves. Frequently change the gloves during the PCR setup. Use a face mask or head cap so that to avoid any kind of contamination from hairs or from skin cells. Always rely on yourself. Don't try to save your time by using the reagents from others. Try to prepare all the reagents and materials by yourself so that you should be sure that no contamination can be there. the glassware and the plasticware and the pipettes which are used to set up a PCR plate or PCR reaction should not be exposed to any other DNA samples in the laboratory. Again, you should set up a separate set of supplies for the PCR. The buffers, the enzymes, the kits, the aliquots which are required for PCR should be stored separately in a separate freezer, and in the form of aliquots, very small volumes which are required once. Don't refreeze or reuse the aliquots, just use whatever volume is required and throw the rest of the volume away. Because the volumes are in microliters and they are in small drops, it is always suggested that after thawing the tubes, centrifuge those tubes so that all the liquid should settle at the bottom and no contamination can come in your PCR reactions or PCR mixtures. While making preparations of DNA to proceed with the PCR, you can prepare the dilutions in your lab on a working bench. However, once amplification is done, the PCR amplified DNA from the PCR should not be processed in the PCR designated area. Process that DNA further for further experiment like for gel electrophoresis in the lab within your work area or working bench. If contamination occurs, then it is advised to decontaminate anything involved in PCR. Decontamination can be done by irradiations, use of UV light. To buffers, don't expose DNTPs to the UV light because UV light causes dimer formation in the DNA. So UV light can be used for decontaminating some small surfaces of the equipment, some plasticware, but not the DNA or the DNTPs. Taq DNA polymerase is not resistant to the UV light. It can be processed or decontaminated using UV light. The sensitivity of primer is variable, so one has to look at the sensitivity whether the primers are sensitive to the UV light or not. The outer surfaces of smaller equipment can be decontaminated using UV light. The work areas, non-metallic surfaces of microfuges, they can be decontaminated by UV. However, the thermal cycler can be decontaminated using 10% solution of the bleach. All these methods can be employed to get rid of the contamination and decontaminate the equipments.